Hello everyone, this is Vito's832 and today I'd just like to do something a little different that I haven't done in a while. A trick. Why not? I call this the quad prediction. I'll take out my deck of cards here. Get rid of the add card and the double backer. We don't need those. We'll get rid of the jokers as well. And we'll give the card a couple of cuts just to make sure everything is mixed up. You'll see that everything is in fact mixed up. There's no rhyme or reason, no order. And I'm going to put these aside for a second. I'm actually going to go through this deck and pull out 4 predictions, the quad predictions. Use this one, this one, this one, and let's see, this one. Those are my 4 predictions. We'll put them inside the empty case so that there's no way I can touch them. And we'll put the rest of the cards, oh crap, I'm bending the cards. We'll put the rest of the cards aside. Now, what we're going to do is we use this deck. We'll mix it up a bit more. I apologize. We'll have the spectator deal the cards into 4 piles. And let me get this onto a little more stable surface here. Just bear with me as we do this. So there we have it, 4 piles. I'm going to ask the spectator now to choose 2 piles. So we can eliminate 2. Let's say either choose the 2 outside ones or the 2 inside ones. You want the middle ones? Okay, we'll eliminate the middle ones. We'll put those aside. And now we'll just stack these ones up. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to have the spectator deal cards face down, face up. So we can eliminate more cards. So, spectator deals the cards. I apologize if this isn't the best angle. And we'll eliminate the face-up cards. We'll do this again. Whoop, sorry, my apologies. Face down, face up. Make sure the spectator does it like that and not like I was doing face up, face down. So, we'll eliminate these cards again. And now let's do a little shuffle like this. And we'll eliminate these 3 cards because we want 4 for my prediction. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. They are King of Clubs, the 4 of Diamonds, 10 of Spades, and the 6 of Hearts. And, I mean, as you saw, the deck was shuffled up. We dealt the cards into 4 piles to kind of mix them up and separate them even more. You selected 2 piles. We got rid of them. And we landed on these 4 cards after going through the cards and shuffling them up more and getting rid of cards. So, here, it's been sitting here the whole time. Might have been out of view. My apologies. It might have been out of view a little bit. But it's been sitting there the whole time. My 4 predictions, as I made earlier: King of Clubs, 4 of Diamonds, 10 of Spades, 6 of Hearts. You could have landed on anything really, but I made some predictions. They were the 4 of Diamonds, 6 of Hearts, 10 of Spades, and the King of Clubs. Just as how you landed on them. That is a quad prediction. I came up with that myself. I'm actually going to show you right now how I came up with it, and how you can come up with your own self-working mathematical miracles. I'll put all this aside. So let's get a deck of cards. this is another way you can actually do it, I suppose. You pull out a deck of cards. We'll get rid of all these cards. And it is in brand new deck order, well, so to speak. The way to do this trick, or the way I came up with it, is as follows. I set up the deck, an ace through king. And I did clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds, using the chased order. So that we start with an ace on top. And the king of diamonds on the bottom. And this is how you can come up with any mathematical trick. So then I decided for this trick what I wanted to do. Obviously, what you got to do when you're coming up with a mathematical trick like this is you've got to go down from one deck of cards down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards, whatever you want to use. And you can use it as either a prediction or whatever. Miss Meg has a similar trick called the final three, in which select the pre-selected cards end up as the last 3 cards. It's a very similar idea. My battery's dying out, so I better hurry up. So what I did is I decided, okay, we'll deal cards into 4 piles. And I'm mixing them up a little bit here. I'll try to, there you go. And one thing I forgot to do is after I did this, I could have showed that, the piles are all mixed up, there's no order or anything like that, because there isn't. Next thing I did is I told the spectator to select 2 piles. Notice I did not give him the choice to choose any 2 piles. I used Magician's Choice or Magician's Force in order to get them to select certain piles. I said you can select the 2 outside ones or the 2 middle ones, and I made sure to point those to make sure I was clear about which ones. You can do whatever you want. You can have them, you can give them choice to select whichever ones they want, but in this case, I want to force the outside piles. So I said you can choose 2 piles. Let's just say the 2 middle ones or the 2 outside ones. If they select the 2 outside ones, you say, okay, great, we'll use those and we'll put these aside. Crap, I apologize, this is a big mess. If they choose the 2 middle ones, you say, okay, we'll take those and we'll put them aside. Either way, you get rid of the 2 middle piles, put them aside. Then what I did is, without making any kind of a big deal about it, I just said, okay, we'll just stack those 2 cards up, those 2 piles up. What you want to do is you want to take this pile on the left-hand side, put it on top of the right-hand pile, in order for the trick to work. I mean, if you want to do it the other way, you'll have to have different prediction cards. But this is the way I came up with it. Then we have to eliminate some cards by dealing cards face down, face up. Make sure you do it that way. I almost screwed up in the trick and started dealing face up, face down. Again, you can come up with whatever way you want to do it. However you want to do it, whatever mathematical tricks you want to do. This is basically the formula to do it with. So now I eliminate the face up cards. I do it again, face down, face up. I eliminate face up cards. And now for this last one, you can do the same thing, or what I did was I just did a little outzog, inzog, a reverse fill. Pull out these 4 cards that are outzogged and eliminate the 3 inzogged cards because those are not important. Then we came up with 4 cards. 10 of diamonds, 4 of hearts, ace of diamonds, 8 of clubs. When I did this trick, I had the deck in new deck order. Those are the cards I ended up with. That tells me that in order for this trick to work, I have to force the cards that are in the 40th, 49th, 17th, and 8th position. This is the 8th position in the deck. This one here is the 17th position. This is the 40th, and this is the 49th position in the deck. This is why you use a deck in this setup order, new deck order, so that you can know exactly where these cards are, so that you know what cards you have to force or predict in order for the trick to work in a mathematical trick like this. That's why I did that. And I have my deck here. And if we go through it, is just another way of doing it. You'll see that I have 4 cards face down. And those 4 cards happen to be Ace of Diamonds, 4 of Hearts, 8 of Clubs, and 10 of Diamonds. You do that anytime, it's going to work. You can come up with your own ways of doing it. You can have just 3 cards, 2 cards, 1 card, whatever. All you have to do is start up with a brand new deck of cards in the order I showed you, Ace through King, and then Clubs, Hearts, Spades, Diamonds. Do whatever you want to do. Deal cards into piles, eliminate piles. Deal cards face up, face down, face up. Do reverse ferals, whatever card you end up on, that's the card you need to force. So if you end up on the 8 of Clubs, you're going to have to force the 8th card in the deck. If you end up on a different card, you might have to force the 20th card. You might have to force the top card, whatever. There's really no way of knowing until you go through the motions and do it yourself. A couple more things quickly. When I did the trick, I actually set it up beforehand. I went through the cards. Well, we'll use a different deck. Pull out the jokers. This is the way I did it. And there is no jokers. I went through the cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pulled out the 3 of Hearts in out of deck. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Pull out the 8 of Hearts. So, what was it? 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 of Hearts, 8 of Hearts. We'll do that quickly. And you can pretty much change cards around if you want, if you don't want it to be all Hearts or whatever. So that's 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Queen of Diamonds. And then 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. Still have 3 left. 2 of Hearts. And I'm going to change that to a black card. We'll say 7 Clubs. We'll put that here. And we'll find the 7 Clubs. This is now set up. Put that aside. We're almost set up. That was 7 Clubs, I believe. And then what I did is I took the 2 jokers, I put them in there to make it look even more ordinary and mixed up. And then for these, what I did is I actually put them next to the aces so that they'd be easy to find. Like, one thing you could do is just set them up in the deck face down like I did in that other one. However, that makes it a little more suspicious in my opinion. So what I did when I performed it is I actually put the selections in the deck so they would be easy to find. Clubs, Ace of Spades, there you go. Now what I did is I'm ready to go now. I saw the deck was all mixed up. I pulled out the jokers. Did some false cuts. I saw it again that the cards were mixed up. I tried to hide this one in case they noticed this card, 3 of Clubs, on the bottom of the deck. Kind of hide it with your hand so that they don't notice it's still there, because you don't want them to know it was a false cut. I mean, if you cut the cards, you're not going to see the same card on the bottom. Chances are they won't notice, but in case they do, then you do it. Then I went through this deck, and I located my prediction cards, which are all next to the aces. So I pulled out the 7 of Clubs, 3 of Hearts, 8 of Hearts, and the Queen of Diamonds. And it looks like you're generally you know, genuinely pulling out 4 random cards as predictions. Then you go through the motions and you end up finding the exact 4 same cards in this deck by doing exactly what I already showed you. So that's how it works. It's pretty simple, completely mathematical and self-working, as long as you do it right. And, even better, the spectator can do everything after the false cuts. They can deal the cards out into 4 piles. They select 2 piles, you use a magician's force to force the 2 outside piles, and then you just stack up the 2 piles casually without making a big deal about it. And then of course you deal the cards face down, face up. Do it again, and then the last part you can do that again, or you can do the little reverse throw I showed you. Either way, you'll end up with 4 cards, guaranteed to be the 4 prediction cards, as long as you do it right and follow the steps. That is the quad prediction. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you next time. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention you can do this trick as an impromptu trick without doing a setup. All you've got to do is go through the cards and locate the cards. 3, you just got to count through them secretly, so I'd be counting 3, 6, 7, 8, and I would write down King of Spades, and then continue 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, write down 3 of diamonds, and then I can come to this side, and I can go 52, 51, 50, 49, 7 of hearts, and then 48, 47, 46, 45, 43, 42, 41, 40, 3 of hearts, and I would write those all down on a piece of paper, secretly to myself, go through them, write them down on a piece of paper, and then reveal the predictions afterwards. So that's just another way of doing it. I forgot to mention, I wanted to mention it, but you can do it impromptu. You just have to go through the cards and count them out secretly to yourself and write them down on a piece of paper without anyone seeing it. So it's a little more effort, a little more work, but it can be done. Just wanted to make sure that I stress that. So I will see you next time.